Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. We are Baltimore positive. We're positively into summertime. Orioles are out on the West Coast. We're trying to have a little bit of fun around here, which is why we're bringing the Maryland Crab Cake Tour back to Carroll County. We'll be at Hempstead on Thursday, at Greenmount Station. I will have the Back to the Future scratch. Every time I see this, I want to sing Huey Lewis, got to get back in time. I need the Orioles to go back to March so they start the season over again. It is all brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Lottery. Also, next Friday, it won't be the beginning of the season, but the beginning of me having another crab cake at Fadley's. Friday the 13th, we'll be at Fadley's. Sounds a little weird, but the Angels will be in town. We'll try to spook them, get them out the door, Anaheim, L.A., Orange County, whatever it is. My baseball companion and pal from the Maryland Lottery is Seth Elkin. He communicates professionally for the Maryland Lottery, joins us whenever John Martin is not available. And, a little Colton Cowser home run, late night goes a long way. Maybe John's sleeping in trying to find the money to pay all these home run riches. But the real story is we got $1 million winners all over the place, Seth, right?
Where do we want to start? $1 million winners or 4 wins in a row for the Orioles? How about that?
Let's do 4 wins in a row with the Orioles, because by the time anybody hears this, it won't be 6 or 8, I don't think. But Shigano pitching well has been a bright spot. Just Jackson Holiday's been a bright spot. Just getting Cowser back, getting players back is a bright spot, I think, when they've been as banged up as they've been and the season has gone not as well as anybody wants it to go, including John Martin, who really does want to pay out more grand slams at the home run riches, right?
And you mentioned Jackson Holiday. Last week when you and I talked, we were looking at that White Sox series, and the last winner, last contestant of the game for May was Wayne Clark from Barton, Maryland, and we both had to figure out where that was in Allegheny
Barton, Maryland,
County.
very, very close to Lefty Grove's hometown of Lonaconing. Correct, Yes, Williamsport.
Well, Wayne Clark, we didn't know where Barton was right off the top of our heads, but Wayne Clark knows how to find $1,500, courtesy of Jackson Holiday and another home run, the 2 home runs that the Orioles got in that game. I'm drawing a blank on who it was. Jorge Mateo. So also hit a home run. That was the Saturday afternoon game in the White Sox series. I was actually watching the leadoff homer that Jackson Holiday hit. So I was happy to see that. $1,500 for that last contestant of the game in May, Wayne Clark. And another good start to June. As you say, we got the home run from Colton Cowser back off the injured list. And a nice start, 4 wins in a row. May not continue, as you mentioned, but a trip to the West Coast maybe is actually what this team needs. A good chance to get out on the road and kind of put things together. So a good win at least to start that series in Seattle, and then they'll go to, I don't know, I was about to call it Oakland. It's not Oakland
it's
anymore.
Sacramento, and I was getting ready to say, I had on this week, and people can hear it or find it at Baltimore Positive. When I began my career as 1984 at the Baltimore News American and Sports First, and I know you were an old newspaper writer as well, Seth. So I began my career there. It was a guy named Tom Cousins who was on the desk there, editor, always fun guy, whatever. But I'm a kid. I'm 15. He's 23, 24. He went on life's journey. He became the sports editor of the Sacramento Bee. He went out to Sacramento with a whole bunch of the guys when the newspaper folded in 86 and made a life. He's been in Sacramento 40 years, but he's from Ocean City, Maryland, grew up in Ocean City, Maryland. Nobody grew up in Ocean City, Maryland. So I had this great conversation with him, but we're talking, he's an Oriole fan. He's got Oriole head. He's like, I'm going to see the Orioles play in Sacramento. I've been in Sacramento 40 years waiting for the Orioles to come. I always had to drive to Oakland, drive to San Francisco. And we got into just talking about, and I hope that it is a minor league ballpark. I hope they hit a lot of home runs this week. And I hope that all of you are trying to figure out how to pay off all these grand slams.
We're hoping. We've only had, I think 2 grand slams this year.
I know.
$5,000 for each one of those, but of course $500 for every home run that the Orioles hit. For one of our contestants of the game, we've got all the contestants for June already posted, but still plenty of time to get in on it. You get 3 more months left of the season, to July, August, and September, and we'll do drawings for those coming up, so you can enter your home run riches, walk-off winnings. Fast play tickets, whether they're winning tickets or not, you can enter them and get an entry into the contestant of the game drawings. And we got 3 more of those still coming. So plenty of chance. We're only halfway through the season here, or not quite halfway through the season, and lots of chances to win. And hopefully the O's start picking it up. As we talked about, some of these guys come back off the injured list and they start swinging a hot bat. The weather warms up, the ball starts carrying, and we'll get some home runs. We'll get some people paid here. I'm looking forward to that.
I don't want to skip the lead on this, but in order to do any of this stuff and win any of these prizes and get these second chances and see your name on TV and root for Colton Cowser to hit a late night home run if you're that contestant, the app, right? I mean, download the app, make sure you're scanning, doing all the things that are teched up. That's the best way to get into these competitions.
Yeah, you can access the rewards program with a computer if you want, but by far the easiest way is with the My Lottery Rewards app, which you can get for iPhone or Android. It's a free download, and that will allow you to scan your tickets with your phone to enter them into your rewards account. It's the easiest way. Otherwise,
If you've ever played the lottery in your life and in the old days and ever had the second chance and mail stuff in for any, my dad was a serial mailer inner trying to win. He was like the Ovaltine kid in the Christmas Story. It's my dad was that dude. He really was. But like, I just download right here and it just has a little scanner and it's zip, zip, zip. And the next thing you know, when you scan it, you know whether you've won or lost, right?
Yep. So it'll tell you whether you've won. And of course, the rewards app also has a separate.
It says prize check right here on it. If I hold a prize check is what we do when I give these.
There you go.
I try to explain this when I'm out at the crab cake tour because not everybody's young like us, Seth. Something like that. Speaking of that, I just want to give you oxygen on this because you guys give a lot of money out, $1 million winners. I am guilty. I have purchased many things in the Safeway in Parkville. We had a Safeway winner down in Lauraville. On the other end by Coco's. Now we've had them up north, up toward actually my radio station, toward Dr. Steve Elliott's office on Elliott Chiropractic on Joppa Road. Big winner in Parkville, right?
Yep. The June 2nd Powerball drawing gave us a $1 million winner at that Safeway that you're talking about in Parkville. Somebody walked in there and bought a ticket with the first 5 of the winning numbers. Did not match the Powerball number, but got the first 5, and that's $1 million prize. So we're waiting to greet that person, and that was the latest in a series of $1 million wins that we had. And one of them you and I talked about last week was the guy at the travel center in Elkin who almost threw away his $1 million ticket and then realized maybe I better take a closer look at this. And that was one of the 3 that we had last week. There were 2 other $1 million scratch-off prizes that were claimed last week. There was a Gold Rush 777 ticket that was purchased in Silver Spring, $1 million winner. And then there was a Lucky 777s ticket that was purchased in Annapolis. So that one, along with that Monopoly times 100 that we spoke about last week, it was purchased in Elkton. 3 different $1 million scratch-off prizes that were claimed last week. And then right on the heels of that, in the Monday night, June 2nd drawing, we have this $1 million Powerball winner in Parkville. So we love giving away any prize, but
somebody right out here has won $1 million right now, and they might not even know it, right? Like, 5 out of 6 and the winning ticket, knowing what you're doing, waking up on, I guess it was Tuesday morning.
Yep.
If you had the ticket, because my wife doesn't stay up late with the draw. When she when she buys $20 worth of Powerball or Mega Millions, she doesn't. Sometimes they do sit around a couple of days, but you're getting the word at that if you bought at the Safeway in Parkville and you were in the drawing on Monday the 2nd, check your tickets, hold your tickets, right? Literally, right?
Somebody out there is holding $1 million winner. So we don't want anything to happen to that. You got 182 days to claim. And, as I said, we love giving out any prize, but there's something about the ring of $1 million that kind of catches people's attention. And to have
I will not be here doing radio next week. I mean, if I win $1 million this week, I mean, I love doing this. I'll come back maybe in July or August, but I would right now I would take a little time. I would need a little me time if I won $1 million, Seth. Even if I had to pay the taxes on it, it'd be fine.
We took a look just because we had 4 of them in kind of quick succession here. I took a look at this. We have had this fiscal year. We chart everything based on the state's fiscal year, which starts July 1st and goes through the following.
So right, so you're about to end a year here.
We're coming up.
Now the number was like 30-something millionaires last year, right?
33 prizes. Okay. Last year for
that's an Eddie Murray. So we're going for a Wild Bill Hagee here.
We are
34. We're going for a Storm
now
Davis.
As of with these 4 that happened just in.
Let's go for a Messina or a Rutschman. That's 35.
We're at 27.
We're not going to get there, are we?
We're at 20. Yeah. Well, you know what though? We've got the multi-match jackpot that just topped $1 million. So that one is out there for the next multi-match drawing. It's a $1.05 million jackpot that's on the line. So I'm hoping maybe, well, we like when those jackpots roll for a while because people get really interested and that helps sales, of course. But we love to see that multi-match jackpot get hit at $1 million. That'll give us another $1 million winner here if it happens this year, if it happens in the next month. So looking forward to meeting whoever this Powerball winner is, because it's a fun prize. Again, fun to win any prize, and we always have fun greeting the winners and hearing their stories. Um,
Your office
Especially
is
when it's
one
a
big
million
happy
dollar win.
place, isn't it? I mean, when people come in, they're just really. I always come there to get my scratch offs, and I see you and Roz, and I plop down in that awful office of yours with Steelers here and Penguins there, and I mean, at least you give me a floor mat that I can wipe my feet with that says Pittsburgh on it. But like everybody's happy when they. I'm the only guy that comes over there that hadn't won $1 million, right? Like literally this week.
One of my favorites, actually, we had another one just in the last couple of days. We had a truck driver from Baltimore County. He and his wife were grocery shopping. They're not at a Safeway. They were at a Food Lion, but they were grocery shopping, and they usually stop at the vending machine to buy some tickets. They were in a hurry. They went past it, and they said, they were almost done. They were ready to get out of the store. They said, you know what, let's double back and let's grab a ticket. It turned out to be a good decision for
My
them
wife
because
has done that a bunch. Like
that
come
that
out of and said no, walk past and said no, 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 but Powerball's 250 this week. I got to get in, right? Like that happens.
they bought a $10 money bag scratch off ticket and walked away with $250,000 as the top prize on that ticket, just because they decided at the last minute, let's swing back to the lottery machine and let's grab a ticket. So that was a fun one. I love stories like that. We get those all the time when people come in here, and we enjoy hearing about it. We enjoy sharing those. It's all part of the fun of what we do.
Remember, I told you if I won $1 million, I'd take next week. If I won 250,000, I would take next week off too. How about that? I don't. If I won 5,000, I think I'd take next week off just because the weather's getting better. Seth Elkin is here. He communicates professionally for all things Maryland Lottery. John Martin is on assignment this week, paying off Jackson Holiday's Grand Slam from last month. We got home run riches. We have jackpots. We hit one of the big jackpots got hit here. But you also have new scratch offs going. You got games happening. I'm back to the futuring. You got lucky sevens, all sorts of things out in the market. Spring and summer, it's a fun time with the lottery.
Yeah, we've got a ton of promotions going on, and here's a cool one I think people will really enjoy because it's literally BOGO, buy one get one. Everybody loves something for free. So this month through June 29th, when you buy a Game of Life Fast Play ticket, which is a $5 Fast Play game, you will get for free a Cash for Life ticket. Game of Life, Cash for Life. So you get a free Cash for Life ticket anytime you buy a Game of Life Fast Play ticket through June 29th. Now, Game of Life has a $75,000 top prize, and there are still 8 of those that have not been claimed yet. So out there waiting to be won, waiting for somebody to buy them, and then thousands of other prizes that go on up to $5,000. So plenty of chances to instant win on that game, but you're also going to get a free Cash for Life ticket for the next available Cash for Life drawing anytime you buy a Game of Life Fast Play game up through June 29th. So buy one, get one from the Maryland Lottery. How's that for a deal?
All right, so I had to Google Game of Life. When we do Scrabble, I played Scrabble. When we did Game of Thrones, I don't know. When we do Back to the Future, I sing Huey Lewis, and I think of Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox. Game of Life, I remember the commercials for it as a kid because I watched Saturday morning. I mean, that's how I turned out this way. I sat around and watched cartoons all day. But yeah, I never played the Game of Life. I mean, I played Battleship, maybe some Stratego, different things like that. But Game of Life, if you put the board game in front of me, I would really have to learn the rules. I think was it a little more grown up? Was it a little bit more like it wasn't Shoots and Ladders or like the games that I liked, as a kid. But like it felt to me like it was a little bit more of a grown up game, not fully like Trivial Pursuit, but you had to be like 12 to play it, I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. Game of Life.
I'm having a tough time jogging my memory too. I remember there was a wheel you had to spin, and then you went around and you did different things in your life. You got a job and you got married.
Right. You did grown up stuff, and I wasn't a grown up. Right. Exactly. Okay. Hold on. What are the rules of Game of Life? Operates on a grid of. No. I got the wrong Game of Life here. I don't know.
The important part is the Fast Play ticket. So you can get that for $5 at any Maryland Lottery retailer. And You'll get another free ticket with it for this month when you're buying
Oh,
it.
that's John Conway's Game of Life. I'm talking about the Hasbro board game.
There you go.
Your life, your way. There it is. Okay, so I know you had to spin. I'm I'm going to ask my wife about this. Maryland Lottery provides these scratch offs, not Game of Life, Back to the Future for me here this week. We're going to be at Greenmount Station up in Hampstead where they have an OTB, they have delicious wings, they have a delicious crab cake, and I will be giving out these scratch offs in Hampstead this week. We'll also be at Fadley's on Friday the 13th. We're coming to Reader's Crab House and Ricerstown later on in early July, and then also we're going to be back at Red Brick Station and over there at Ando's on the White Marsh Plaza as well. So good things going on. Did I leave anything out? You guys have events going on everywhere, right?
Well, I'm gonna follow up on that Back to the Future because we just had one of the drawings in the Back to the Future Second Chance promotion. So when you're giving those Back to the Future tickets out,
was it an 888 thing, or what?
Yep,
what did we give away?
We're not quite there yet. We had a $2,025 winner that was Jennifer Brown from Clarksburg. That's 2025 to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the release of the first movie in the Back to the Future franchise. And then we had Robert Reinheimer from Parkton, who won $2,015 because that's the year that Marty McFly traveled to in the future in Back to the Future Part 2.
And then we had future anymore.
Two winners of $1,955 because 1955 is the year he went back to. So Roger Evans from Nottingham and Woo Kim from Silver Spring both won $1,955. So that drawing was just held this week, and we just posted those. But plenty more chances. There, I believe, are 3 more drawings in the Back to the Future Second Chance promotion. And as you mentioned, the top prize there in that last drawing is going to be $8,888 because of the DeLorean had to go 88 miles an hour in order to trigger time travel. So more chances to win second chance prizes on the Back to the Future.
So you're not even reading this off a sheet. You know about DeLorean. You know about 88. I wish I knew that about Game of Life. So when you bring up so that's why I'm going to figure out. I knew the whammy in Press Your Luck. I can't know every pop culture reference. I'm trying.
These are the fun parts of this, though. When we do tickets that have these pop culture connections, I think that's the reason we do them, is because they do connect with people. They immediately, a lot of people like me remember Back to the Future and don't have to think about what those numbers mean and remember all of those things and can probably recite a lot of the dialogue from that movie too.
All right, hold on. Game of Life, I found it. You ready? I'm going to read it to you, okay? Because I got to know this before the segment's over because it's going to be bugging me. Hit the road for a roller coaster life of adventure, family, unexpected surprises, and pets. Sounds like my real life. Want to take the family path, start a career, or venture down a risky road? In this game, players can make their own exciting choices as they move through the twists and turns of life. Move the car token around the game board from start to retirement and experience unexpected. No wonder I didn't want to play this game when I was a kid.
Nobody wants to retire, yeah.
Yeah, it's too risky. Experience unexpected surprises, I'll say, related to family, career, and other milestones of life. This is like real life. Players can adopt pets in this version of the Game of Life. The player, and here you go, this is a Donald Trump thing here, player with the most money at the end of the game wins. There you go. So no, I'm a winner. I got to be a winner. 100 cards, 5 spin to win tokens, Game of Life full of surprises. I like adult assembly required. There you go. There's your Hasbro. Is that good?
Now we're on the
same
same
page.
I had
never played it, so I don't know.
I'm sure I played it. I just don't remember it as well as I remember some of the other things.
It's like the name, right? It's once somebody gets a Monopoly or something, you just play that game, right? Or you play, Connect Four. I don't know. We used to, what we used to do? My parents said, "Get out of the house, go, get out of the house, go play some ball." So I would go play ball, and then I turned out talking Pirates and Orioles with you, and it's been a lifetime of misery since 1979, I think. Hey. Go ahead. You got something.
We're getting out of the house. We're getting out of the office. We're going to be at events, as you mentioned, June 7th and 8th. We're going to be at the Capitol Jazz Fest in Columbia. We're also on June 7th, we'll be set up at the Baltimore 10 miler at Druid Hill Park. And then June 14th, we'll be at the Beer and Barbecue Stroll in Westminster. So you can come see us there, spin the prize wheel, and win a lottery item.
All that sounds like
Have
fun,
some
except
fun.
running a 10K right now.
Yeah, I don't
That's
want
the
to do
part.
that either. No.
That's the part that I'm not going to do. Seth Elkin is here. He communicates for the Maryland Lottery. Make sure we have these Back to the Future scratch-offs for our Maryland Crab Cake Tour that is out and about into June and July. And we're celebrating our 27th anniversary in August, and the lottery is going to be a part of that. And we're excited about that as well as I get around and eat and show off all of my favorite foods for yins and that who aren't from around here. Have you ever had a proper piece of peach cake, like real Maryland peach cake, Seth?
I don't think I have.
You
No.
probably had the Smith Island cake, right? Because that's
That
sort
I
of famous,
have, for
right? I
sure.
mean,
Yes.
and by the way, as part of my Maryland Lottery crab cake tour 3 years ago, you can go look this up. I went to the kitchen in Smith Island. I took the boat. I got the mosquito bites and the little bites on my neck to prove it. But I made a legitimate Smith Island cake in the kitchen where it was invented.
They're very good.
I'm having
That,
fun. I'm
that
trying
I
to
can
have
have
fun
no.
around here. We need to win some more baseball games, and you and I need to get back on the baseball bandwagon here and start 4 in a row. Let's keep it going. They lose tonight, I'm going to blame you. Seth Elkin is here from the Maryland Lottery. John Martin will be back next week. Home Run Riches is alive and well late night all this week, including in a minor league ballpark in Sacramento that I hope plays like a major league ballpark, and we give out some money. We need more grand slams around here and more excitement for the summertime. By the way, I'm going to leave you with this because I was going to tell you this story before you set me off on barbecues and beers and all that stuff. I had Charles Steinberg on. We lost Jim Henneman, legendary sports writer, 2 weeks ago, and I had Charles Steinberg on. Charles is one of the architects of Oriole baseball history, was around the team in the 70s and 80s, great friends with Eddie Murray and Cal Ripken and all that, but it was a team employee, was a dentist by trade, but did all sorts of things with the club and community involvement, like was very involved in their community initiatives, keeping the team here in the 80s, when Janet Marie built Camden Yards, all of that. So Charles came on, and don't feel sorry for Charles. He went off to work with Larry Lucchino. He got a fistful of rings with the Red Sox. He now runs the Worcester Woo Sox in Worcester, Massachusetts, and they built a new ballpark and all that stuff. But Charles is a Baltimore, Pikesville dude, real Oriole baseball, blood in the bricks. He was the architect of the goodbye game in 1991 at Memorial Stadium. And Charles was a member of the 79 Orioles as well as the 83 Orioles. And he said to me that his 79 ring means as much to him as the 83 ring. He said they used to give out championship rings just for the American League, and I have one of those. And that 79 ring means as much to me because that was just the greatest summer. And I'm like, that's one way of looking at it, Charlie. We didn't win. It doesn't feel that way when I run into Grant Jackson or when I run into Burt Blyleven or when I'm taunted by people like you, when I'm in your office and Willie Stargell's on the wall, right? But it's good when you have good memories, though, right? I mean, so I thought about that with Charles, and I'm like, you know what? If I could get over Bob Irsay stealing the team, and I could think about Jim Irsay, posthumously in good tones and from my heart, then I shouldn't feel so bad about the 79 Orioles. I should look at it as it was the greatest summer of my life with my dad. Does that make you feel better as a Pirates fan who celebrated it, or no?
Well, the thing I always come back to with that Orioles team is that a number of those guys were still there in '83 when they did win.
Right.
So they have that to kind of hang their hat on. But a very, very good Orioles team, and a great Orioles team the following year in 1980 that won 100 games and didn't make the playoffs because they weren't expanded.
And then in 81 won the most games in Major League Baseball in a split season and didn't make the playoffs because they finished second in both halves. Yep. Oh, I was 13. You think I don't remember them? It's the summer of Fernando Valenzuela, man. I mean, come on. Seth Elkin is here. He is a baseball historian, which is why I love having him on. So I gotta throw a little 79 because once we started talking about 79, I'm like, I'm gonna bring that up with you because that's all you got, right?
That really is all we have.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Steelers, Penguins, you had a good time. It's like me saying, I mean, we lost to Colts. We won two Super Bowls here with the Ravens. History doesn't need to feel sorry for me. I've lived a good sports life, but I am wistful about 79. 79 is something. And by the way, when you were giving me how many 26 millionaires we've made in the state
27 now.
27 now. Yep. I was going to say, if we get to 29, that's a singy. right? And that's a 79. I was going to give you that. But Seth Elkin is here. He's a great baseball fan, even though he is more of a great Pittsburgh sports aficionado. But he also is helping us get the word out about all things Maryland lottery and gaming. He communicates professionally for them. We always love having him on, even though the game of life is put me. I'm going to ask my wife if she played the game of life or not. Back to the Future Scratch Offs. We'll be up at Greenmount Station in Hampstead on Thursday with our pals up there, as well as next Friday, Friday the 13th. We're going to be at Fadley's, and I'm going to be getting a shrimp salad. And I have not had an oyster all summer because I had a lot of oysters last August. I'm going to get some oysters next Friday down at Fadley's. I'm Nestor. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. We never stop talking. Baltimore positive.